Welcome to G3, Games, Gadgets, and Guests, a video podcast from 702 Communications. I'm your host, Brian Crommett. I've got a game episode for you today, and today we're going to talk about Octopath Traveler. It is sometimes difficult for me to decide what I'm going to play and what I'm going to show you all when I've got the PlayStation 4, the Nintendo Switch, iOS games, PC games, and limited time to play any of them. But I do try to keep my eye out for new games that I think will be cool. And since it's been a while since I've done a review on the Switch, I was looking for something new on that platform. And when I came across Octopath Traveler, I thought right from the start, this game is worth a look. You see, based on the trailer I saw, Octopath Traveler looked like it was going to give me another chance to play some old school, like Super Nintendo old school type Final Fantasy. It's a role-playing game. It follows 8 heroes through their respective quest lines, and just like the Final Fantasies of old, you can add and remove people from your party to bring different skill sets to the group. You can also train them to use different skills. You can buy or find or steal different items for each character to use to be better offensively or defensively. You do have to pick a main character when you start, but after you do, you can change your party as much as you like. But we can talk more about that when you actually see it. So let's have a look right now at Octopath Traveler. All right, so here we boot into Octopath Traveler, and like I say, right off the bat, you can see that the characters themselves are built in like a 16-bit style. You've got a richer world for them to run around in. It is a very 3D world that they run around in, but they themselves are very flat characters, so that's got an interesting feel to it. Right now, I have a party that's put together with my main character, Ophelia, and she's a cleric, and then there's Tressa, who's a merchant, Cyrus, who is a scholar, which is a wizard, and Hannett at the bottom right now, she's a hunter, and we're actually, oh, I see she's almost dead from the last battle we were in. Hannett is actually the storyline that I'm on right now, and so the story up to now for her, I'm just gonna heal while I talk about this. The story up to now for her is she is a hunter, and she was an apprentice, and her master, her trainer, went off to hunt this big bad beast, and he never returned. So she's on the look for him. You see that we're in chapter 2 of her story at this point, and so she's just gotten a lead that somebody in this town might know something about where he is. So this is the menu that you can see here, and so we've got we can take a quick look at the world map. So you see that it is a pretty decent sized world out here. The white towns are anything that I can fast travel to. The green towns are ones that I have yet to discover, and they are next steps in different character storylines. We can also, if I get back out of here, there's a journal, so if you're unsure of where anybody is, you can look at that. So we can see, just for instance, I'll bring Hannett back up, and so you can see this is the story so far. And if you wanted to go to any of the dialogue parts to show you what those conversations look like, you could go back and replay those to see the story so far if you weren't sure about where you were. You can also get to side quests. There are, of course, side quests in this game, and you can see what you have yet to find in each of the different areas. Of course, you can look through your inventory. You can, like I was just doing, heal. You can equip different equipment. You can also give people side skills, side jobs, like my cleric is a cleric thief now because she learned also to be a thief, so she's got an extra skill set. So anyway, as you're playing along here, it encourages you to interact with all of these townsfolk who have got the white 3 ellipses above their heads. They've got something to say. Or anybody with the orange one here, they're a side quest. So I'm gonna just quick interact with this one so you can see that. And so they give you little tidbits. And then based on the characters in your party, you've got additional actions. So if I wanted, my cleric could enlist this guy into her employ, and he'd follow her around. My merchant can see if he's got anything I'd want to buy from him. My scholar can scrutinize him to see if there's something that he can figure out from a close investigation, if I fail to scrutinize him without him noticing, like I just did, my reputation in town goes down. So you don't want to fail too often. You want to take that into account. And then my hunter can provoke him, so we can have a fight. I don't know why I'd want to fight him, but we can fight him. But I'm not gonna. So map down in the corner there, you can see I've got a green diamond there that's telling me that I need to proceed this way to get to my next path. So a nice thing is we're heading into the Specterwood path at this point. You can see the danger level is 26, and if you remember, you see the levels of my characters here are anywhere from 34 to 26, so I should be able to survive in here for a bit. But again, I just wanted to show how Final Fantasy this looks in the character movement, but how interestingly laid out the world is. In very much not a 2D look. I'm gonna save here because saving more often is better. Anytime you come across a save point, you probably should. So here we're in a cutscene. And right now our hunter is traveling with Hagen, who is her master's trusty wolf, and that's my leopard back there.
So then,
so the wolf came back without her master. So.
On it.
All right.
just so.
All right, so I think it's good that we showed you this little bit to show you that there is some story here, because that is a big part. Like I say, you're in different chapters of each character's story along the way, and so when I say there's story, there is actual story to it. Okay, so now it's telling me I have to turn back because I can't go forward that way. So we're heading back to town. Looks like we get one more cutscene. Looks like a clue. I've been playing this recently at my house at night, and my wife is sitting on the couch next to me, and she does kind of make fun sometimes of the little voiceover parts that they have here, because not all of them are very sophisticated. Okay, where am I going? It's showing me I have to go this way. I can't go this way. Can't go that way. The other thing with this world is sometimes, because of the way the 3D is set up, there are paths that you don't see. Go back up around again here. Okay, so we just got drawn into battle here, and this is the one thing that the very first time it happened, I thought, absolutely, that's Final Fantasy, because I'm trying to get from point A to point B, and I'm going to be waylaid along the way here. So. One of the things that my scholar can do is he can detect the weaknesses in people, so I like to start out with that to figure out what the creature's weaknesses are going to be. It also told me that particular creature has 5,300 hit points. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with my cleric here. And you could see that lead monster was weak to that attack because we had seen that. A couple of the characters have two different kinds of weapons. This one's got an axe and a bow. I'm gonna try the axe on it.
My turn now.
I'm gonna try Trade and Tempest, a wind attack on all of these.
Letting the hunt begin.
She can also summon different monsters, like we were talking about her leopard back there. She can bring that leopard in. And that was an effective attack. Knocked that one creature out. Like I said, I can also, as the cleric with this side job of being a thief, I've got some access to some thief skills. So I can do different thieving.
Here I go.
But it's got kind of the catchy music that you remember from Final Fantasy when you're in a battle. And I could do some more analysis, or I can just fight everybody right now. So
What next? According to letting the hunt begin.
bring this down.
Done my
All right, we discovered that that one's also weak to electricity, so that's handy.
letting my arrow fly and true. Lightning, done my
I will say, like this battle's gonna take a couple minutes. When you get to boss fights, they are literally 20 to 30 minutes long. So that is maybe one complaint that I would have about this. You get into a fight, and I'll keep going here while I talk. You get into a fight with one of the bosses, and it really does take a good 20 minutes because the bosses have 30,000 hit points and all these resistances, and it hasn't happened that I've failed to get through a boss yet, but after I'm done with 30 minutes of fighting, if I were, that'd be pretty frustrating. So make sure you're ready, I guess is the point there, before you go into any battle.
what to do.
Alright. We're getting knocked off one of the characters back there.
Letting my arrow fly and true.
You can also get boost points. So what I just did there was I boosted 4 times, so she's going to do a more damaging attack. This one.
Well then. Let's do this.
And of course, just like in Final Fantasy, if we need to use some items right here, we can do that. If we need to heal everybody, we could do that from here. If we need to restore some energy to people, we could do that from here. So like I say, gameplay, very, very reminiscent of the old Final Fantasy games. And it's been long enough that I do really appreciate that that's set up like this. Well, I'm having fun doing that. At the same time, it really is a change from the first-person shooters and most of the other stuff that I've reviewed for you guys. So I mean, that's kind of fun here too. Is just to be doing something that you're invested in, but you're not really all that involved in. So it's more of a I got to get through the story type of game than I'm all tense because it's just so intense. Okay, we're almost through here. Well, he's got one weakness I haven't found, so I'm gonna find that quick. Spears. Okay.
My turn now. My turn now. Letting my
There we go. We got through the battle. So you can see it tracks experience for all your characters there. It gives you not only experience points, but then also skill points, and when you get to certain levels, you can learn new skills. So, obviously, a lot more story, but that's a really good look at what Octopath Traveler looks like. Just from what you can do a little bit wandering through town, you got a good look at how it moves the story along, and then you got a little bit of a look at combat. So I think we'll quit there for now because, like I say, you can easily get lost for minutes or hours in this game. So I do enjoy the game. I'm not addicted to it as I may have been to different games in the past, but I am interested enough to keep going on storylines. I will say that there are definitely characters that are better and worse suited to combat overall, and so I tend to leave those characters sitting in the tavern for too long. And that just means that when it's time to pursue their storylines again, that I have to do some level grinding along the way to get them up to speed again. So it can be done. It's just not always fun. Critics are on board with this one generally as well. Metacritic gives this 83 out of 100, and I'd say, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm gonna keep playing this. I wanna see how all these plot lines resolve, so if you've got a Switch and an itch for some Final Fantasy, give Octopath Traveler a try. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this look at Octopath Traveler. If you did, let me know. Comment on the video, send me suggestions, and remember to share, like, subscribe, and tell all your friends about us because we've got more shows coming up with more interesting games, gadgets, and guests. So until next time, I'm Brian Crommett. This is G3. Game on.